This is where it happened. I was working at this commissary and kept seeing invoices.
What's up? What's up? What is up? What is going on, everybody? I am the actual King Smith, and it looks like I'm having some technical freaking issues again with my camera. Man, this is can't get right over here. Coach, can you hear me?
What do you hear? What do you say, King?
Hey, man, this is gonna be. I
Hey, it
have
looks
to
like
laugh.
two boobs talking on the TV, talking on the screen at the same time.
Everything was going.
Oh, now it still looks like two boobs.
Yep, everything was going fantastic, man. I decided to go live and then boom. Hey, here we go. I don't know what is happening, but this is this handsome face that the people want to see. Coach, let's get it to the show, man. Start us
Oh,
off.
wait. Let me start it off real fast because I got to get a nice cold one out for everybody.
All right.
Good evening, everybody.
Yeah. Now, hold on, Coach.
Been a while since we've been on, man.
Now, man, you need to restart that intro over again, brother.
Where are my manners?
Ah.
Hey, Sports Bar, what do you hear? What do you say?
Hey, there we go. That's how you know it is a sports bar Sunday live edition here at WTF Nation Radio. Y'all, look, because I don't know why my stuff is having technical issues at the moment. CQ, if you're watching, shut up. I don't want to hear it. Shut up. Let's get this thing kicked off. We've got a lot of things that we're going to be covering today. We're going to start off with a little bit of sports trivia. I'm going to hit y'all with some quick news that's going on today. And then we've got about 4 or 5 different topics, things to bring up around the sports world that we're going to cover and bring some sports edutainment here to the viewers and listeners at WTF Nation Radio. But before we get started, Coach, I'm gonna need for you to do some quick marketing, and I do mean quick. Tell the viewers and listeners about the shows that we have here at WTF Nation Radio. Go.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we come to you live 6 nights a week on WTF Nation Radio across our WTF Nation Radio Facebook page and U.S. Army WTF Moments Facebook page. We're also on YouTube, Twitter, and Kick. We start off the week with us Sunday at the Sports Bar, coming to you live at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, and all times for shows are 8 o'clock Eastern. Monday, we have the Monday edition with Ice and Shipwreck, and Shipwreck's out on an extended vacation, probably stuck in the middle of a desert island as he's shipwrecked. And regardless of that, Ice will be bringing to you on Monday for the Monday edition. Tuesday is our boy CQ, the guru of WTF Nation Radio and the host of Pop Culture Warrior, comes to you live with a new episode of Pop Culture Warrior. He's had Angry Elf on, he's had Mike on, he's had several other guest hosts on, but it's a great rotating guest host as well as interviews, which I will get you to who he's interviewing this upcoming Tuesday. By the way, if you go to his Twitter account, please retweet the account. I believe Adam Strange is trying to get onto the show and need to show your support out there. Bringing us up to Wednesday with the Smoke Pit. That's Radar and TZ. They had a great Smoke Pit last week where they're just sitting around BSing. They're bringing you some great interviews with people within the support and veteran support community. They're coming out there helping us, helping you out, and helping out our audience. So please give them a watch. Thursday, Sarn's Time with Ice again, breaking down to you the latest news that's going on, the Department of Defense, Department of Veterans Affairs, everything dealing with our lives and how we can go ahead and the impact that other people's choices are making. It's always a great conversation on Thursdays, and definitely want to miss it. And then we wrap up the week, and I believe this week is Friday. I don't know if they're on or not, but every other week we're going to be bringing you Friday Night Freedom. I will get the information here in just a little bit about whether or not to be on this Friday, but that is the Poopsters and dang blammin', who the heck's the other one, because it's been so long since I've been on. I'm sorry about that. Dear God, and he's right down in Myrtle Beach, and he's gonna kick my ass on that one. All right, but anyway, regardless of that, please take a look at them on Friday, and everything starts at 8 o'clock Eastern Time on WTF Nation Radio and U.S. Army WTF Moments across Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Kick. Back to the show.
Back to the regular scheduled programming. Y'all, look, we have to get the marketing stuff out the way. So for the people that are still here, thank y'all for tuning in. All right, let's get right into.
How the hell did I miss out Kaz's name? Kaz and Pookie. My apologies.
It's okay. I started to correct you, but then I'm like, you know what? People should watch the show and figure out who the hosts are. All right. So
I should watch the show because I haven't been on there in the past 3 weeks. I don't know which ones they're on.
I have a little cheat sheet. I actually can do it now. And I think I caught everybody who went live this week except for the Thursday show. I don't know if there was a Thursday show this week, but I did tune in this week. It's been a crazy week. Actually, before we get into the show, my daughter turned 16 on this past Friday, and it was a fantastic event. One of the biggest birthday celebrations that she's had, because she has a summer birthday, but it took her mother and my girlfriend to really come together and make the event a huge success that it was. So I'd like to give a shout out to everybody involved for making my daughter's Sweet 16 birthday party phenomenal. We did a high tea event. Shokar came dressed to the nines, and there's a video, I wish I had it queued up, of everybody singing her happy birthday. And remember, I said show choir turned up, and they started singing and sounded angelic. I started singing happy birthday like the first 8 or so odd seconds, and then when I realized that I was screwing up the vocals, I shut up quickly. But it was definitely a good event, man. And you know, you only reached a 16th birthday one time around. That's every birthday, really, when you think about it. But I was pretty thankful for the people that made it as much of a success as it is. Do you have kids, Coach? I think we talked about this. You have a son, right?
I've got 2 sons and 1 daughter. 2 sons that are the oldest son and the daughter are out of the house. One's in college. The other one is a chef in a restaurant downtown. And then I've got my youngest son who's still around. Yep, still feeding off the tit, but he's a senior in high school.
All right.
And the Mets just proved again why they're the Mets, because damn, they are terrible.
Nice. Speaking of shelves, we've got a couple of people in the chat, and let's acknowledge them. We got my man DC in the building. I can't display it on the screen because it won't let me in Restream, but He said, "Happy birthday," and I appreciate you, David, for popping up over on Facebook. Let's see. We got, speaking of a chef, Grooming and Reviews 101 is in the building. That is my man, the Greek Pete is in the building. Shout out to you. David Cunningham said, "Good evening, King and Coach." So did Michelle early as well. And we got Tony checking in from the UK at 10 in the morning over there. That's what I'm talking about. We got the UK in the building tuning in. Hey, let me give you a salute over there for popping in. The international viewers are in the building. Shout out to you.
And thanks for letting the Premier League come over here and play their summer games over in the States. My brother was just at the Manchester United and Arsenal game last night over at MetLife Field in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Freaking 86,000 people there at the game watching a friendly between two English Premier League teams.
Nice. And hey, Coach, I don't know my countries. I meant to say Australia. I looked at the flag and I had the wrong flag.
Damn.
Hey, we got Thailand checking in too. International Sports Bar Gang is in the building. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey. They play a different type of baseball over there. They have two balls and one stick.
Oh. Hey, I'm just hitting random sound. I got my soundboard up. I only got 3 sounds right now, and I done played all 3 of them, so I'm not going to try to recycle them too much. John McIntyre checking in from Thailand. That's what's up. All right. Let's see. Let's get into sports trivia for today. All right, Coach, here we got sports trivia. And this question is for you and the viewers. I'll give people, because don't Google it. All right, don't Google it. So I'm gonna give not you, because I know you have integrity, Coach. I'm gonna give the people out there that are watching and listening 25 seconds.
Oh no, that's still enough time to Google it.
20 seconds. It is.
15.
Man, all right. Hey, so y'all have to get ready, because here comes the question. And this should be fairly easy. So I'm gonna omit one thing. In 2019, Nike's Jordan brand signs this 2019 NBA draft pick to what is the richest multi-year sponsorship deal for a rookie in history, estimated 7 years for $75 million. Name that NBA rookie.
You know that I have the personal story for this one, right?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So again, the question was, in 2019, Nike's Jordan brand signs this 2019 NBA rookie to what is the richest multi-year sponsorship deal for a rookie in history, estimated 7 years for $75 million. Coach, who did you have?
Oh, this is the guy that my cousin signed for 7 years and $75 million to the Jordan brand. My cousin, Anthony DeCosmo, who is the vice president of sports marketing over at Jordan brand for Nike. That is the one, the only Duke one-year wonder, Zion Williamson.
Zion Williamson. Ding, 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 ding. Hey, no wonder Zion has enough money to be tricking off on these Instagram thoughts, because he's not paying him with his NBA salary money. He's paying these tricks with his Nike sponsorship deal money. But back it up. Your cousin is the Nike Jordan, what'd you say, president?
Vice president for sports marketing for Jordan brand.
Nice.
His name is Anthony DeCosmo. He was adopted into my family when he was around 1 or 2 years old. Or no, I'd say about 2 or 3 years old. When he was adopted, I'm not kidding you, his mother, Diana, was a nurse who was teaching my mother, my 2 aunts over at St. Anne's High School, or St. Anne's Elementary School in Fair Lawn, New Jersey. She actually got out of the seminary when they adopted Anthony, so that she could on paper legally adopt Anthony. Yep.
Okay.
Not kidding you. But he used to be part of CBS Viacom, and he was in charge of the sports department. So the year that he left was when they introduced all the Nick games, like the NFL playoff games on Nickelodeon. But he was the one who was doing all of the CBS Viacom Paramount properties, incorporating them into the sports marketing. So like the SpongeBob SquarePants 500 ones, they had one that year, and he was kind of instrumental in that. The Nick Sports Awards that they do, he was overseer of those. Pretty cool job he had. Now he's working for Jordan.
Man, all right. Hey, cousin Tony, what's up, my man? Hey, invite me to the family reunion next time, coach. That's what's up, man. That's cool.
Oh, yeah.
Well, hey, shout out to your cousin Tony over there for structuring that deal. Like I said, no wonder Zion has a lot of money to be throwing off to these Instagram thoughts.
You signed the next hot prospect, and then the next thing you know, that the only reason why he's the hot prospect is because he's a stud, and his heirs are going to be the next one. So as long as you got the family into the Jordan brand, you'll be taken care of.
All right, so let's take a look at who we had. We had Grooming and Review said Michael Jordan. That would have been incorrect because I said the year 2019. And Jordan was definitely not a rookie in 2019.
It was Jordan's brand by 2019.
Hey, maybe Jordan's son if he was playing at that time, but no, could not have been him. And we had David Cunningham said Ja Morant, which would have been a good guess. Who was Ja's son? He's Adidas, isn't he? I don't think he's part of the Jordan brand.
No, he's Fulton County Prison. That's what he's going to be wearing.
Hey, pretty soon, that's exactly what he's going to be wearing.
He should be wearing.
Ooh, and we got a history lesson. Hey, because here at the Sports Bar, not only do we talk sports, but we learn things as well. Tony said the Union Jack is the top left of the Australian flag, which makes us part of the Commonwealth. So
you almost got us canceled on that one.
Union Jack, as part of their flag, are also part of the Commonwealth. Shout out to you as well. For example, Fiji.
Yeah, I see Fiji and I see New Zealand, but I got a question. Then how come I don't see the Union Jack on Canada's flag?
Ooh, is Canada? Hey, I don't know geography like that. Is Canada part of the Commonwealth?
The Kings on their money. So yeah, I'm pretty. If I'm correct, I know Canada used to be part of the Commonwealth. I know they participate in the Commonwealth Games. So Canada is part of that.
Okay, all right. Hey, Tony, I appreciate the history lesson, man. Hey, look, if y'all take the time to type this stuff out, we will take the time to highlight it and showcase it so that the viewers can learn something. I learned something today. What if that comes up in trivia? I'm going to thank Tony in Facebook for letting me know that one. So I appreciate you. We got Panama in the building.
Some bar, you'll win $20 in some bar trivia contest.
Hey, $20 and some free fries. Shout out to Estela Carrera. Said, hola, saludos from Panama. Hey, salute to you as well. I appreciate you pulling up in the building, Estela. David Cunningham said, Zion's giving his baby mama Mariah Mills $107,000 a month, which is chump change when you think about it, because if that's what he just throwing off to her, right, coach, and he's going to get, is that deal guaranteed from Nike, like 7 years, 75 million over 7 years? Is that guaranteed money? Did we lose you, coach? Can y'all hear me?
I muted myself. I started going and then I looked down. Oh crap, I'm muted. That deal is guaranteed as long as he's playing in a professional athlete. I mean, it's a sponsorship deal, so he's got to do some type of performance. And I think the minimum performance is him staying in the NBA or him playing basketball. But yeah, it is. It's basically ironclad.
Well, then, hey, he got no issues throwing off $100,000 a month. He can have 2 or 3 of them on his rotation doing that. Man, hey, mama, I
Him having
blame
2 or
you.
3 of them on rotation is what caused the $107,000 a month problem.
I blame my mama, who also came down. She came up from Alabama to Maryland to celebrate my daughter's 16th. I blame you for not having sex with somebody that was like 6'7", 6'8". Come on now. How could you mess this up for me?
Man, I thought you were going to blame her for your crappy internet. Wow.
I should blame her for that. Hey, she watches the show, by the way. Mama, if you listen, my bad. And to my dad, oops. I love both of y'all.
You know, that's what they were going to call you.
Oops. Hey, we like to bring comedy over here as well. I hope y'all having a good time. Jeremy Hennon is in the building, said that PV2 King is over there living like a king in North Korea. Hey, let's talk about that real quick. It's not sports related, yet it's geography related since we're talking about areas of the world. Have you heard about that news story there, Coach?
No. Let me hear it.
Oh, man.
Okay. Are we talking about the missing Joe that decided to me so horny over in the wrong country and is now stuck in a Kim Jong-un prison?
That's not the way that I heard it. So in my investigative research, this dude, Travis King, in the Army, I think this is his first tour because he's young. He's 23 years old. So I don't know if this is his first overseas base or if this is his first base, period. But since like August or September of last year, he had been punching people, breaking into folks' home while drinking, apparently, and leaving some of the juicy bars at night in South Korea, and was basically being a menace overseas while getting escorted to be kicked out of the country. And I guess I don't know if the Army was doing some type of non-judicial punishment for him or whatnot, but while he was being escorted out the country, he to the airport, he escapes custody and flees to North Korea of all places. Who in their right mind would want to go, you know what? Let's run, leave this place and run across the DMZ line into North Korea. I can't imagine what type of an individual would make that decision, Coach. This is not a made-up story. This is true. You can Google Travis King, North Korea, and read it for your damn self. It is the wildest shit I've ever heard in my lifetime.
Oh, I believe it. You know what? And all I got to say about this guy is that he picked the right time in order to do it. I mean, for crying out loud, we traded away Bergdahl for pennies on the dollar. And, we traded away Brittany Garner for, some Russian intelligence, former Russian intel people that we had locked up. I mean, it's a perfect time to go ahead and, get rid of somebody else that's going to be a threat to every single bit of society. Just trade him for a disgruntled soldier. And let's make it look like it's all great. Yeah, don't worry about it. Good old Sniffin' Joe is on the job.
Hey man, this story is bringing out some funny memes and comments on our Facebook page as well. Jeremy Hennon said only Dennis Rodman can save him now, and David Cunningham said Travis made a run for the border like Usain Bolt while on a tour. It'll take Dennis Rodman to get her back. Absolutely. Hey, everybody knows that Dennis Rodman is Kim Jong-un's boy, apparently, you know what I'm saying? So it won't be Ja Rule. Ja Rule won't be coming out to save him. It'll be Dennis Rodman going over there to get him. Hey, my vote, let him rot. Apparently, this dude was a straight up menace to society. And the way that the story's told, because there was a tour that was going on right there at the DMZ line, and witnesses that were there said that he could be overheard laughing as he was running from the south to the north side. People like that, to me, I don't have any sympathy for. He's lucky that he didn't get peppered up, if you know what I'm saying. And he can rot over there, or North Korea may decide to give the okie doke and go, you know what? Come stay over here. See how we live. Tell us the U.S. secrets. Tell us what you know, young 23-year-old, and we will treat you like a king. Maybe that's what's happening, man. I don't know. There was an interview Oh, if there was an interview, I need to go find it. I haven't seen the interview, Jeremy. I haven't seen the interview. David Rodriguez said that it was probably his first unit station. Hey, was your first unit station a CONUS base or an OCONUS base there, Coach?
Mine? Oh God, I was CONUS the whole time, man. I got stuck at Bragg when as my first duty station, and the only time I ever left was when I went to Hawaii. I ended up retiring at Bragg. I'm still
Man,
here at Bragg.
dude,
Oh,
that
I'm sorry, Liberty. Don't ever fucking tell me this. Any of you assholes type Liberty, you're going to be banned from the show.
hey,
Do not put Liberty in the
put
chats
it
or I
in.
will ban you.
Put it
But that
in.
being, put it in, and I'm dead serious. I'm fucking banning you. But anyway, that being said, yeah, no, the first time, the only time I was ever OCONUS was in Hawaii as a duty station, but I've been OCONUS God knows how many times on deployments.
Well, all right. Yeah, my first duty station was Warner Robins Air Force Base in Warner Robins, Georgia. Shout out to GA. And then
David Rodriguez
uh-oh.
banned.
No, don't ban my man. Don't ban him. Hey, I like names.
Select problem hate speech.
No, hey, David, it wasn't me. It was not me because I sure enough encouraged it. Emotional damage. And let's bring David didn't deserve that. Bring him back, coach. Bring him back.
Maybe.
Jeremy said, I
All
just want
right, he's not banned.
yeah. Jeremy said,
He's
I wanted to go to
terminated.
Korea for the Korean barbecue and the massage parlors. Shh. Don't tell all the secrets. Hey, I still
going to
have a
one of
treat
those
for you.
soapland places. Jesus.
Yeah, hey, we don't tell all the secrets here on WTF Nation Radio, Jeremy. I've been to Osan, I've been to Kunsan. For those of y'all that don't know, I was U.S. Air Force. I was a KC-135 boom operator on what's called the tanker. I was an air flight refueler. We went everywhere. So when my first base was in Georgia, I spent 3 years in Okinawa, toured all of the Pacific. If I were to have a favorite region of the world, man, honestly, coach, I think that the Asian cultures, the Philippines, Thailand, a lot of those areas over there, to me, things are right there. The cost of living is not that high. People are so carefree. And while there's crime everywhere, during my times there, and like I was there for an extensive period of time, so not just a day or two in and out. I did like 30 days in Thailand, right? And not just 30 days and gone, like multiple hops in and out. You don't like I got treated nice. I got treated with respect. And I felt like, hey, this could be home, like if I did my tour and got done, I would try and find a way to like live over in the Pacific permanently, minus the typhoons that they have. But I would say out of all of my TDY locations and places that I've been to, the Philippines was probably the best. The food was fantastic, the culture was real dope, and they treated me like I was one of their own. How about you? What was the favorite place that you've been? And for the people in the chat, name your favorite either duty location or place that y'all went TDY. Coach, what say you?
Well, I was actually kind of lucky that I had a smorgasbord of Asian culture over there in Hawaii. So, I mean, I can relate a bit because, Hawaii seems to be a melting pot of every single one of the what's it called? Of all the Asian cultures coming together. You have Chinese, Japanese, Filipino, Korean, Taiwanese, all different types, all coming together. Polynesian, including Fijian, Samoan, Filipino, even Native Hawaiian is considered its own kind of an offshoot of the Asian culture. But it's great. I mean, for crying out loud, you got to think about this. Ever since the racial draft on Chappelle's show, the Wu-Tang Clan hasn't been, back to being African American. They've been stuck with the Asians, and they absolutely loved it. we haven't heard anything bad coming out of the Wu-Tang Clan. Diversified your Von bitches. That's basically it. I mean, if they love it so much, you can't go wrong, And they got the RZA, the Jizza, and the Ghostface Killer, Wu-Tang Clan.
Hey, I'm probably about to get canceled real quick. I always thought Wu-Tang as a group was trash. Absolute trash.
Oh, dear God. Oh, dear God.
As a group.
There was nobody like that back in the day whatsoever.
I'm just saying.
There was, with that many people, there was nobody that had that many people back in the day.
I was all right with Method Man. Method Man is the only one out of Wu that I thought was worth listening to. Everybody else, Inspector Deck, Ghostface, all of the rest of them, trash.
Oh, dear God.
Michelle earlier said it's like I don't even know you.
I don't want to know you at this point. I'm now regretting all life decisions that made me think about knowing you.
Hey,
Because now I'm on a Chappelle show kick. I'm going to go into be Silky Johnson, one of the haters. I hate you. I hate you. I don't even know you, and I hate you. I wish everything bad that's going to happen in this world happens to you and only you.
Michelle says that she agrees. No. Jeremy
Good.
Daniels building said 7 years at Fort Campbell. What's that? Kentucky? Campbell? Is that in Kentucky? I don't know.
Yeah, Campbell's in Kentucky. Yes.
Oh, it is. All right. 1 year in Korea, 4 months at Fort Lewis. Where's Lewis at, Coach?
Lewis is in Washington.
Okay,
That's,
Washington.
Tacoma.
So over on the West Coast and then medically retired. Hey, thank you for your service there, Jeremy Daniels. I too was medically retired. I was medically retired because I have a big heart, and that is not a joke. That is not a joke. I won't go into it because I've gone into it on prior episodes, but I do have a big heart, and I could not stay in aviation with it. But DOD has done me well by getting me a medical retirement, and I'm thankful for it. I was in just under 10 years. Just under 10 years. Last year would have been my 20-year mark. September of 2022 would have been my 20-year mark had I been in. And most of my peers that stayed in are retiring. They're getting done or getting out. I actually had somebody who didn't make E9, or he's still he's able to make E9, but he would need a waiver for higher tenure for E8, and I guess they're not giving it to him. So he's planning his life as if he's getting out this year, and he asked me to be his civilian mentor, and I was honored to be asked that because I've been out a while. If you follow my LinkedIn, which I'll say is public information, you can see exactly what I do.
It's the only way I can remember your email address.
I've had some pretty good success in the civilian sector. I'm not going to call myself an expert, but at least for government resumes and things like that, I shouldn't say this, but I tell people to hit me up because I'm pretty decent at government resumes. Civilian resumes, do not ask me, but I can mentor people on how to get their government resumes up to date to try to get into the government workforce. Civilian sector, forget about it. I've only been government. I literally, when I got medically retired, I worked as a GS9 for DOD Air Force for about almost 2 years. And then I've been with the VA ever since. I got retired in 2011, and I've been with the VA since 2013. Government work is all I know. Ooh, man, Jeremy, thank you for your service indeed. So several aggressive onset MS, spinal cord edema, and 23 other service issues from Iraq. Hey, so thank you for your service, Jeremy. My dad was in the Army, and while he did not see combat with the training and stuff that he had to go through, the Army put your body through it. He was in 9 years. My dad did not get medically retired, but now that he's 62, 60, he's still feeling the effects of all of the ruck runs and things that he used to do, jumping off of stuff for training exercises and things in his old age. But to hear aggressive onset MS, I had a coworker who had it, and she got it when she was about at her 17-year mark, and 2 years later, because this was about the time that I was a civilian, she couldn't walk. She couldn't walk. She being able to run 2 miles like it was nothing to not being able to. She could only work like half of a day because of how the MS had affected her. So while I don't know MS personally, I got the chance to see it with my eyes and aggressive set. And yeah, man, I hope that you are able to get the care that you need to have a long and pain-free life, brother.
Yeah, Jeremy, absolutely to you too, man. I've been affected by it too. A guy who I mentor, he's stuck right now. Well, I'm going to say he's confined to a wheelchair right now with how his MS is. I took him out for a bike ride a couple weeks ago, and he had to have a special suit on in order to kind of stay cold to keep his body cool, because if his body overheats, he can seize up, and he's barely able to care for himself right now, but he's got a good support network and a good bunch of caregivers that he's got with him 24/7. And it's a sad thing to see somebody going through MS. So my heart goes out to you, brother.
Absolutely. We got Pop Culture Warrior in the building. Said, what's good, pimping? Y'all chatting G-Man? Yeah, we were just talking quick, man, prior to going to the next story. What's the favorite place that you were that you visited during your time in the service, whether you were assigned there or you visited TDY? I know your history, but if you want to put it in the chat, Pop Culture Warrior, I'd appreciate it. All right, let's get this comment here, and then we'll move on to the next story. Jeremy Daniel said, I'm the Arthur Art Operations Hazmat for the 101st from 2003 to 2006. Salute to you. Let's see. Yep, he said 173rd. Obviously, you lucky bastard. That's all I'm gonna say. You lucky bastard. Let's see. My MS deemed medication resistant. I don't know what deemed. Oh, it's deemed. My MS is deemed medication resistant. All right. I don't even know what to say to that. Coach, help me out.
Damn, brother. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, our prayers and our thoughts and our support goes out to you, brother. If you need to get any type of assistance or anything like that, message the show page. I'll come out of I'll show myself as far as what's it called? I'll show myself as far as where we might be able to get you some help if you need anybody.
Absolutely. Yeah,
I'll come out. I'll break the fourth wall, or I'll break kayfabe offline. How about that?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that you have assistance and things like that, but hey, there are definitely some good veteran nonprofits out there that can be of assist. You don't already have something in your corner. That's what it is, because you know what? That's what we do. We take care of our own over here.
Damn right.
We take care of our own over here. Follow the paperwork, check the profile. Absolutely. Next story. 173rd. I hate you. Quick news. Quick news. All right, coach. This is where I give you an article or a headline or just read a sentence, and I want you to give maybe 1 or 2 quick thoughts, quick sentences about what you think about the article. First thing is the Washington Commanders are under new ownership after the league owners unanimously approved the $6.05 billion purchase of the franchise by a group led by Josh Harris, billionaire Mitchell Rales, and NBA Hall of Famer Magic Johnson.
Dan Snyder is gone from the NFL for $6.5 billion, and the NFL fined him $60 million on the way out, which is equivalent to a 1% fine of his sale on the way out. Good riddance, Dan Snyder. You were an absolute piece of human garbage that got too much money. I hope you burn in hell. And
Hey,
take that stadium with you.
hey, he's gonna burn in hell, but he's gonna be $6 billion richer.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's see. Next quick news hit. We have NBA Board of Governors approved the sales of the Hornets. Michael Jordan is no longer an owner. What say you?
MJ is a businessman, and he deserves to have a slower role outside of the NBA because he's not a great front office man.
Okay. All right. Good deal. Let's see. Do we have one more thing for quick hits? Jimmy Garoppolo passes the Raiders camp for physical. Should be able to start week 1. What say you?
I haven't seen him on the court. The last time I saw him, he was in those stupid Subway commercials with his Nona.
Number 1 pick of the Carolina Panthers, Bryce Young signs $37.9 million deal.
And the fans go mild.
Odell
At least here in Carolina, they did.
Odell Beckham Jr. is motivated to regain form with the Ravens, quoted as saying, "I know what I can do."
OJ's committed to try to reforming himself to find those killers again out on the golf course. That's all I got to say about Odell.
All right. And final thing for quick.
I had to stop as soon as I said OJ Simpson. It's almost at the part right now where you say his name, it automatically becomes a joke. It's like his name is a damn punchline. A priest and a rabbi walk into the bar. OJ Simpson. See? You laugh.
Oh man. Hey, give me your thought on the TV show on Netflix, Quarterback, produced by Peyton Manning, which features 3 quarterbacks: Marcus Mariota, Kirk Cousins, and Patty Mahomes himself. Have you watched it? Do you even know about it?
I know about it, haven't watched it. Pop Culture Warrior will be happier about this. I actually watched the Adam Eve special for Invincible on Amazon. And I was watching, because it's race weekend, there was an IndyCar race, there was a NASCAR race, as well as an F1 race today. So I got all 3 of them in. And there was an Indy race yesterday, too. So, yeah, sorry. Haven't been doing that. And it's not like I'm watching the Yankees because they suck worse than Julius Randle.
Okay. Hey,
which I never thought would be possible, but it is.
So Pop Culture Warrior said, still not using OBS, I see. Yeah, oops. I think I made a declaration. I said, I guarantee we will be using OBS by the next time I go live. Yeah, my bad.
Well, I know 76 at my last count. Actually, it might be 75. But regardless of that, at my last count, we'll be learning how to do it. Maybe you'll take up some lessons.
Oh, absolutely. Hey,
yeah, kind of like how the other person will be picking up lessons too.
Let's see. This was a pretty good quick hits. Coach, this is a quick news thing. What about Taysom Hill? The fact that he will have made more money as a backup quarterback / athlete than WNBA combined. Thoughts?
How many people go see the Kansas City Chiefs or let's not use Washington because they're a bad example. How many people see the New York Giants play every year? They average close to 80,000 people over at MetLife Stadium. I mean, even Jacksonville has a respectable 68 out of 72,000 people show up to each one of the games. You know, they're pretty respectable all around. That's how many people. One NFL game equals the entire daggone capacity for the WNBA in ticket sales. Okay? One game in the NFL. The entire season of WNBA games. Same amount of tickets.
Hey,
that's why.
Okay.
That's why.
Let's put a pin on this one because our final story of the night does involve the WNBA. So we are going to come back to that as well. All right. But to go
I
back,
almost watched a WNBA game today. I got lucky and changed the channel before the tip off.
hey, to, to hold on. I didn't want to. Hey, I tried not to laugh. I really did, but it was hilarious. That was funny. Come on, coach. Um, to go to the Netflix show, The Quarterback. I watched it. I have to tell you,
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of Kirk Cousins because I don't know. I just really didn't know him. But after watching this show, I'm about halfway through it. It's I think 8 or 10 episodes. They're almost like an hour long. But man, let me tell you, the production quality on it is fantastic. And I've heard from other people as well after watching that show. They're like, yo, I am a huge fan of Kirk Cousins.
I've heard
And I
that
am
same
too.
thing.
Yeah.
I've heard that same thing. I've heard that people have a newfound respect for Kirk Cousins after watching the show.
He
Yeah, so I heard that same exact thing. So
Hey man,
I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out soon, man.
he is a real likable dude, man. Like now I'm gonna be following Kirk Cousins
Yeah,
throughout this upcoming year and legit be rooting for him, even
for the
though
Vikings.
I
Yeah,
know our Vikings fan is out here. We got a couple of Vikings fans in the building, Skull Vikings, as they say. I am going to
I've
be
seen
rooting
their
for
new
old
place,
Kirk,
man.
man.
Their new place is a frick. I love their new
Ooh,
stadium up in Minneapolis. Oh yeah, it is one of the most beautiful stadiums that's out there right now. Oh yeah,
I wish I had a little bit more wealth that I could just go fly out there just to go catch a game and then turn around and fly back, doing like a red eye or something that same day because I am going within the next 3 years. I am going to go to Minnesota and catch me a Vikings game. I have to. That stadium looks fantastic.
and while you're in Minneapolis, you can always bathe yourself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka.
Minnetonka.
Why don't you bathe yourself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka, Charlie Murphy?
David Cunningham said, Coach, what's going on with Saquon Barkley? Don't answer that because we are going to come back to that.
Yeah,
And
we'll come back to that.
and I have started that question because we do have a segment on that as well. All right. So that is our Netflix quarterback talk. Now I'm going to bring up something because I read this article and it made me laugh. One of the greatest athletes can't stop this from happening. Coach, what are your thoughts on Bo Jackson?
And Bo was one of the greatest two sport athletes. And if he had concentrated on one to begin with, we would probably be talking about a very above average player in both of those individual sports. But combining the fact that he could do it both, in the time of the 80s and the 90s when that was kind of a big thing to do, he is the greatest modern athlete that I remember ever seeing. Pro Bowl. He could have been a Pro Bowl running back. He was an all-star outfielder. And the last several people that had done that was God. I can't remember the guy's name who did that for. Somebody did it in the 96 Cardinals, and then you had Prime Time who did that. He tried to play a baseball game and a football game on the same day, which he technically did. In the two sport athlete kind of thing, but that craze went down. I wish we would have some more people like Bo so we can experience. Closest we have right now is Otani being a hitter and a pitcher at the same time, but Bo was doing this across both of the sports. Just imagine somebody in this day and age doing that. It would have been awesome.
Oh, absolutely. I totally agree with that. Even though you just gave all of his physical accolades and things like that, that still doesn't stop him from having a serious case of the hiccup because Bo has revealed that
Mm-hmm.
he's going to need a medical procedure to cure the hiccups. And he is saying doctors have been probing me in every way that they can, pause, to find out why he's got these hiccups. All right. But Bo, at 60 years old on the McElroy and Cook in the morning show, said that he's had a severe case of hiccups since last July. A medical procedure done at the end of May. And I don't know, like I had to laugh because I'm like, man, how can hiccups be problematic? But if you read on what's on the screen, it says a hiccup is characterized by repeated spasms of the diaphragm that suddenly close the vocal cords. Hiccups may indicate an underlying medical problem, and in extremely rare cases, it can last up to months, which could lead to weight loss and extreme fatigue. All right. But hiccups. How you gonna be a an error defining physical specimen and get taken down by hiccups?
And sometimes it's the smallest daggone things, you know. And I'm surprised, like, you know, when you see an athlete passing away of something, you know, you see like these. And I'm not saying that, you know, hiccups is kind of a cardiac type of thing too, because when you restrict the air, it also restricts the blood pumping through the veins and everything. You see athletes having these respiratory and heart and congenitive heart problems and things like that as they get older. You know, Bo being the athlete of the athletes, he definitely can have something like this coming around there because he probably exercised his diaphragm more than anybody at its prime, doing everything that he had to do.
Hmm. Know who also exercised their diaphragm a lot? Mariah Mills.
Who's that? I couldn't. It broke up.
I said Zion Williams's girl, Mariah Mills.
Oh, 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 Zion. Oh, 75 million.
I couldn't help it. Mike Larson said that that's crazy and that would be so annoying. Yes, it would if you gotta talk it in, or if you're sitting there trying to eat and, or if you're having sex and.
Imagine you got to take a piss at a urinal.
Oh man!
Oh dear God! Man, that's a fifth pair of Chinos I went through.
Oh, Jeremy Daniel says they are indeed no joke, and we got a laugh out of some people. Michelle Early put the LOL in the comments over there on Facebook. That's what I'm talking about. Because here at the Sports Bar, we bring sports edutainment to the people. All right, let's see. Ooh, hey, I don't know if this has indeed caused an increase in people showing up. Have you heard of the baseball player Julio Rodriguez?
I have heard of Julio Rodriguez because I have a feeling that there's a Julio Rodriguez that played for every single team. And I'm doing a stereotypical Hispanic type thing. But no, I have not heard about this specific Julio Rodriguez.
Mike Larson said, I got to put my internet package up a notch or two. Yeah, I got to fix some things. I can see the video struggling over there. But Julio Rodriguez is an MLB player who is sponsored by Alaska Airlines. And this was back in May. But according to this picture right here, where is it at? Where is it at? I can't find it. Is this it? Here we go. For every home run that Julio hits in Seattle, 44 fans in the section that it lands on will win a free round trip of their choosing. I need to know, and you probably can't look this up quickly, how many home runs he has hit. And I'm assuming it's home. I don't know if it's home runs or like away home runs. Oh yeah, it does say right there, hits in Seattle. I wonder how many home runs since this came out. Can you look that up, Coach?
You know, actually, I'm on right now on his 2023. By the way, he's hit 14 home runs this season. So let's go home or away. And okay, come on, home or away. Yes, I'm pulling this up. Okay, so he has hit 8 home runs at home. So that means 8 times 44 is 352 round trip tickets for Alaskan Airlines.
I wonder the red the red tape is the fine print because that seemed like it could get expensive real quick. Like, how do you red line that out?
Oh,
Your accountant.
it's probably anywhere that Alaskan Airlines, flies to.
Mm,
So Alaskan Airlines obviously is based out of Alaska, but in the thing that where they are for Seattle, they probably have connecting flights to other airports out of Seattle and use Seattle as a hub.
hmm
So it could be anywhere from Seattle, seeing that most of the people are there, that Alaskan Airlines, flies to, which, Alaskan Airlines flies to Hawaii probably out of Seattle. You
Yep.
know,
Yep.
things like that. It's that's where it is, and you get that one where if they do any international, well, you might have a couple people take it, but most people will probably want to take a trip to either Alaska or over to some places boosting the local economy. They can do
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
It probably doesn't include taxes. You probably don't get bags. So
Now, actually, I do know this that if it's over $600, they actually issue you a W-9, I believe it is, or I can't remember, a 1099. They actually issue you a 1099, and you have to report it as income.
now, how do
Uh,
you know this? Let the viewers
because
know.
when I won the car,
Yeah, yep. Hey, I teed it up for you. Let the viewers.
yes,
Hey, hold on.
when I won the car at the 2015 Coca-Cola 600, I got a 1099 for the amount of the car, which was 24,900 something dollars. We tried to get it as close to the $25,000 limit that we could. I had to report that income on top of my military income for the year of 2015 when I filed in 2016.
If you don't mind me asking, did you end up owing taxes that year?
No, but my return was a lot less, like
Okay.
a couple thousand less.
Okay.
Yeah.
And David Cunningham asked, "What kind of car was it, Coach?"
2015 Toyota Camry.
Brand spanking new. That lucky
Brand
bastard.
spanking new. Oh yeah, my son still has it,
That
and
lucky
it's got
bastard.
less. I think he's got. Yeah, I think it's got less than 50,000 miles on it.
Mm, mm,
It's
mm.
over. Yeah, God, it's over 7 years old or 8 years old, and it's got less than 50,000 miles on it.
Seattle fans, I know y'all watch this show. Let me know if y'all have taken advantage of that sponsorship by Alaskan Airlines. I would love to know if it actually worked out for you. I'm going to share this photo because I know that you have thoughts about wrestling. I don't know this
Yeah.
particular wrestler or who he is, but it says a young Zack Snyder holding Razor Ramon's Intercontinental title over here on the left,
Yep.
just to then grow up and look who's holding the belt right there next to him. That's a pretty cool
Yeah.
moment later on, man. I like to see stuff like this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The story behind that WrestleMania 10 was at Madison Square Garden, and that guy Zack Ryder, he was there, and he obviously got that picture with Scott Hall, who was wrestling for the Intercontinental Championship against Shawn Michaels in the first pay-per-view ladder match. Um, that was one of the greatest matches of all time. Scott Hall, who was known as Razor Ramon back then, won it. And then I believe it was WrestleMania 33, 34, somewhere around there. I want to say maybe 33, something like that. Um, Over in Dallas, Zack Ryder won the Intercontinental Championship in I believe it was a ladder match as well. And he won it that night, and he was there backstage. Scott Hall was there, so kind of a cool, letting the whole circle go around kind of moment there.
Yep, absolutely,
Yep.
man. I saw this picture and it made me smile. Salute to Zack Snyder. All right. Ooh, coach.
Zack Ryder, dude.
Would I say Zack Snyder?
You said Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder's the guy who made. Jesus, you've been watching CQ too much. He's the
Yep.
guy who made the Batman film or the Snyder cut from Justice League.
Yeah,
That would have been better than the original one.
That and
But that's what happens when Ben Affleck's fucking Batman. Fuck Ben Affleck.
That plus I was also reading the Washington Snyder, and my brain had a brain twist, kind of like how my mouth has a tongue twist. Pause. Emotional damage. Jeremy
Hey,
Dean said
who's hated more, Daniel Snyder or Ben Affleck as Batman?
Ooh, put it down in the chat. I think the answer is Snyder, but that's just me.
There are people who would resurrect Hitler just so that Daniel Snyder can burn in hell.
Dang. Why is Daniel Snyder hated so bad? I don't get it.
Well, let's just say that because of all the screwy crap that he's done with the organization, his meddling hasn't gotten them any wins. The organization's been a mess for years. That stadium is decrepit to the part where, Philly fans are, getting injured by railing, and the sewage is coming out, and somebody's actually getting like piss on their seat. It's freaking terrible in that daggone stadium, and and he's been under investigation not just by the NFL, but by the Senate, by the Maryland and DC and Virginia district attorney's offices. I mean, this guy's a fucking scumbag. And I feel bad for everything that happens with Washington because nobody liked the commander's name either. That's why, some of the new owner is hearing some things about how he can actually change it, because within the first 5 years of the team, the new owner is able to change the name if he wants to. And that's that's how bad Daniel Snyder's been. He's just been one scumbag after another. He's like Jerry Jones's bastard child. He's been screwing up everything. He's making it a business. He's acted, God forbid, they were not even going to talk about all the sexual harassment and everything that was happening there with the cheerleading squad too out of that. Freaking the Daniel Snyder's an absolute scumbag.
Well, now that Daniel Snyder is out and they have new ownership in, let me get this comment out. I've only been to one Washington game, and it was when they were still the Redskins. I had more fun outside tailgating than I did inside watching the game. Now, with that being said, if the Washington Commanders decides that they want to allow your boy to come down and get maybe some sideline passes and maybe, write up something as media here at WTF Nation Radio, I will be all for it. Whoever I need to talk to make that happen, let me know. Maybe we can change this perception about how the Washington Commanders franchise is as a whole, one veteran at a time.
Yeah. Hook me up with free tickets or I'll stop talking shit.
David Cunningham.
That's the way we all here.
Yep. Hey, exactly. Money talks. Yeah. David Cunningham said, I think that Magic Johnson will help turn the Washington franchise around. Hey, every time I say Magic Johnson, I just giggle like a little kid. Like, it sounds like a porn star name, don't it?
Oh man, Magic sounds as American as Larry Bird.
Yeah, but
crying out loud, man. Yes, that Magic Johnson's no. I wouldn't have thought about that. I would have thought Magic was exactly who he is, a great whatever showman that he was, and a great player. And Magic is Magic. There was nobody else like him, man. So Magic's part of Americana. You can't think of him as a porn star.
I'm still going to giggle
because that porn
Magic,
because that porn's not going to be going to be illegal. Okay, let's just say that right now.
Hey,
all right.
Maybe
I still feel bad for the mosquitoes in this house.
Mike Larson said, "Oh,
oh."
Mike Larson said Smith will always be willing to jump the bandwagon. Absolutely. If you're not willing, if you are not winning championships, I can only stick around for so long. I grew up an Atlanta Falcons fan because I was raised in the South in Alabama. Alabama doesn't have a pro football team. Probably the closest thing to a pro football team would be the Alabama Crimson Tide, Roll Tide. But I was a Falcons fan up until the time that they lost the Super Bowl to the New England Patriots. I was done that year. The day after that game ended, I declared I was no longer an Atlanta Falcons fan. I declared it very publicly, and I am now a Baltimore Ravens fan until I leave the state of Maryland.
I don't know, after such a terrible loss like that. I mean, for crying out loud, it even made a terrible old woman movie out of it. You know, just think about that. Your team was the backstory to some terrible movie with Jane Fonda. All right.
Yo,
Yeah. If your fan base has gotten that to that part right there, you deserve to be able to change your teams.
I have not watched the movie, but I do want to check it out just because
I am not.
Rotten Tomatoes trashed it. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 58%. Was it that bad? Did you
Man,
see
my
it?
mother went to go see it, you know. For crying out loud, Mama Coach went to go see this, and I am not kidding you. She's like, well, it was all right, which I already know, and that means it was a terrible movie.
Okay,
and if she didn't enjoy it because she's now that old lady, for crying out loud. If she didn't enjoy it, then it's got to be a bad movie.
And for those of y'all who don't know what we're talking about the movie 80 for Brady featuring Jane Fonda. Michelle, I know what you mean. I know I slipped up, Coach. If you are from the area, you don't pronounce the T in Baltimore. You say Baltimore. I realized it as soon as I said it. I hope you didn't hear it. She goes, a who fan? How dare you say that city's name?
It's how you say it. It's how you say it after you're mugged from your wallet and you're trying to find out a good reason. You just mutter underneath your breath in Baltimore.
Man, I have a story that I can't share because of how I heard the story. But let's just say if you are ever down at the Ravens Stadium, protect your pockets. That's all I got to say. That is all I got to say. Shameless name drop, successfully done. Roll Tide, roll, baby. I need my mom was just here and I was telling her because of where she's from, they sell a lot of the Bama Crimson Tide gear. And I said, I'm slipping because I should have had her bring some stuff up. Now I gotta order it off of Amazon. Emotional errors and damage. Yep, I messed up. But you know what? I redeemed myself. Hey, if she didn't call me out, I wouldn't have brought it back up. Coach, what's the fastest record for a mile ran by a man? You can totally look that up. Please do.
Oh, Jesus. Great. I got to go look it up. I want to say it's about 3 minutes and 42 seconds, something like that. 3:40.
What's currently the world record for a man running the mile?
Okay, give me a second. Fastest mile ever ran by a man. Okay, let's see. I am right now on the okay, oh, I was close. Haikam El Grajeo is the current men's record holder with a time of 3 minutes and 43.13 seconds.
Does it say when that was done? When it was accomplished?
Give me a second. Looking right now to try to figure out. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out where the hell it came down to the world record, but it's, dear God, I'm looking at it. It's been forever. Like this guy's world record. It looks like he did this. No, that's not it. I don't even know where the fuck this guy's thing is, but yeah, he's got the fastest mile, and it looks like it's over 20 years old.
Okay, well, the fastest mile by a woman is 4 minutes 7 seconds, and I don't know how to say point.
Yeah, 7.64. Yeah, 407.
There we go. 4764. Thanks for helping me out on that one. And she beat out the previous world record by about 5 seconds. So shout out to, oh man, I'm gonna mess that last name up.
Oh yeah, Yeah.
Gipgon for setting the world
Yeah.
record on Friday for women by 4 minutes and 7.64 seconds.
Yep. Looking at her right now, she's a Kenyan runner. And the 1,500 meters, the mile, and the 5,000, she is all set this year as a world record.
Hey, you ain't gonna outrun
Yeah.
some Kenyans. I'm gonna tell y'all this
No.
story about Kenyans real quick. When I was active duty, we had a guy who was Kenyan, and this dude was the Air Force track team as well. Like, he was active duty, but if you have special talents, certain people can become a part of like ambassadors for the service that they're in. And this guy was out here qualifying for like Olympic stuff. I remember one time doing a 2-mile run. This fool lapped me. He did 4 miles before I did 2.
Damn.
Oh
Damn.
yeah. Hey, when I say he was running, this fool was running, and he made it look effortlessly. And when he got done with 8 miles, it looked as though he didn't sweat. It looked as though he wasn't tired, and he probably could have done another 8 miles. And I mean running, not no light jog or a light stroll. He's striding and running and moving. And I'm like, man, goodness gracious. That's when I learned that Kenyans are just built different. They're just built different. This food lapped me. All right. And I know the comments are gonna come for me. I know. I don't even want to look.
Every member of the Kenyan army would be a sergeant major in the army. Just because they can run. They'll be promoted before everybody.
Shout out to Jeremy Daniels. He put the year. It was July of 1999 for the men's record. Thanks, Jeremy. I appreciate you.
Been over 20
years. That up. I appreciate you looking that up. And that has to show how much of a record that is, in that I think today's athletes, with sports medicine and the way that it is, you can fine-tune yourself to be better. I think that there's a more knowledge base, and the fact that record is still held strong 20 years long, with the way that the world can churn out. I mean, I'm not going to say running is like, it's an easier barrier to get into, is what I'm trying to say. And then the fact that their record still holds strong, that should tell you something.
Well, think about this too. The long jump record. The long jump record by Michael Powell has stood since like 91. And I think it's like at 29 feet, 3 5/8 inches or something like that. And it was done at ground level. And that's, it's been a while for that record too. There's a lot of records that are still standing that I'm kind of glad that are still standing.
Nice.
Track and field being that way too.
Mike Larson with probably my favorite comment of the evening. Gold star to you. He said, I'd run fast too if I had to outrun crocodiles, cheetahs, lions, and shit when I'm just trying to go out and get some water or wash my clothes. Oh, man. Hey, you can always count on Mike Larson to provide some comedy. I absolutely love it, man. He's one of my favorite co-hosts on Pop Culture Warrior. Anytime he's there, I try to tune in as much as I can, because Larson's gonna drop some. He has his humor. I don't know how to describe it. You just have to go check it out. So be sure to tune in Tuesdays on Pop Culture Warrior anytime Mad Mike is in the building.
That's the only
guaranteed to laugh.
That's the only reason why you guys only wore, or why the guys in Kenya only wear loincloths. It's because it's the easiest thing for them to go ahead and wash before a tiger comes back.
Yep, absolutely. David Cunningham said it's the high altitude in Kenya that makes it easy for them to run. Bingo.
Is that where the Serengeti is? Or not the Serengeti, the Kilimanjaro and all that.
Yep, I have no idea. Out of all of the places that I went to when I was active duty in the military, Africa was not one of them. I flew over the Horn of Africa, so I've flown over it, but I have not actually planted feet on soil. And what I'd like expect to do.
I did. I guess I can say I did with Oman.
Okay.
I want to say
I know where Oman's at.
I want to say like Oman is just on either on one border or the other, but I think it is part of Africa, Oman. I flew over it because I had to fly over to what's the name of the Netherlands, whatever the place is, the Dutch. I was in not in Amsterdam. I was in another place in the Netherlands.
I mean,
but I flew over Africa too. Yeah.
Yeah. I have several missions over Djibouti. At
Oh,
least I
okay.
think
Yeah.
that's how you
Yeah.
say it. Now, that's in Africa, but
Djibouti. Yeah.
Djibouti.
The D is silent, like in Django.
The D is silent in Djibouti. Let me stop.
Jesus Christmas.
Hey, shout out to Faith from Kenya for breaking the world record by almost 5 seconds. All right, let's get to the next story. Michelle says, so if I go to Kenya, I'll be able to run fast too. Science. That's exactly how that works.
Oh,
Science.
shit.
He said the D.
Well, let's either run and survive or be food.
I've been to these places. Never said I knew how to pronounce them, but I have flown over Djibouti. But and I've flown over Yemen, which I know Yemen is close to Africa. It's closer than Oman is, I want to say.
Yeah.
Because I was at UAE, and if I like UAE was northwest of Oman, and Yemen was southwest. So yeah, close, but I haven't actually put feet on soil.
Yeah. Same here.
All right, let's see. Yeah. All right, let's get to our next story here. Let's see. How do I want to do this? How do I want to present this? Let's take a look at this video. And the question is, can the average player, the average person, beat rated NBA professional? And I need to take this off the screen because I didn't spell it right. But let's take a look at this video and y'all tell me.
Ever thought you could beat a below-average NBA player one-on-one? Well, Brian Scalabrine, the lowest-rated NBA 2K player ever, has had internet trolls and fans claim they could beat him. So, Scalabrine put it to the test. In 2013, he created the Scallenge, giving 3 people the chance to beat him in a one-on-one. Not only did he smoke all 3, 11-3, 11-0, 11-0, he also destroyed a 3-man team 11-1. But Scalabrine still gets called out. In 2021, another passerby trash-talked Scalabrine while he was shooting at a local gym. So, they laced him up, and Scalabrine casually won 11-0, stating, "I'm closer to LeBron than you are to me."
That last line was cold-blooded. He said, "I'm closer to LeBron James than you are to me." Now, if you don't know who he was rated as the worst rated player in NBA 2K, which the lowest rating you go is a 65. So he is a 65 in the game. Yet people saw this dude and thought he was chump change, and he was smoking fools. All right. So for those of y'all that think that, oh man, just because somebody doesn't get any playing time and they ride the bench and they get 0 minutes, that you could just show up out of the YMCA league and take on the worst rated NBA player, you've got another thing coming. Coach, did you expect that to be any different?
Oh, heck no. I'm echoing.
Uh-oh. You're echoing on my side. I don't know if you're echoing on the live stream.
No, I think I might be echoing on the live stream. Okay, there we go. Yeah, now I'm off on that. All right, yeah, not a problem. Yeah. Now, actually, I'm not even on the live stream. I don't even know what the hell happened. No, I with Brian Scalabrine, I definitely know how good NBA players are. Just think about this. That is the top. If we go about basketball is played professionally at much lower leagues all around the world. So they have, about their 200 or so players around the world. And let's just say 50 countries do that. That's 10,000 people. We're talking about an NBA team that has 450 people. So let's just say that out of the 2,500 professional basketball players around the world, you're going to mess with a guy who's about 450, 500 at the worst. Yeah, let's not think about it in that way whatsoever. That's just professionals basketball players around the world. There's not including the amateur players that are still in colleges or in high schools that can smoke your ass. There are still freaking people who have played basketball all their lives in Division 1 and in Division 2 and Division 3 that did that at their college level and can still smoke you. Okay, you might have something out of maybe some of the people from D3, okay, or a JUCO player or something like that. Don't think that you're going to go ahead and talk about somebody who is closer to LeBron James than you will ever be if you're just going to be trying to play shit on the street top parks and not learning the fundamentals and mastering the fundamentals of the game. It also helps that Brian Scalabrine is also 6'9", and I think these guys were about the size of King. So let's just say that.
Yep. I also heard Kenny, the Jet Smith, say that there's been less than 4,500 people since the NBA's inception to have ever touched a basketball floor during like an active NBA season.
Yep.
Right? Think about that. That's crazy when you think about it.
Oh, yeah.
Since the inception of the NBA, 4,000, less than 4,500 players total. And that includes players that have played on a 10-day contract and things like that have ever touched the floor.
You know who's actually done that once? Ahmad Rashad. He hit a 3-pointer in a Philadelphia 76ers game. He signed like a 1-game contract.
Yeah, shout out to Ahmad Rashad, man.
Yep.
Yeah. So that should let you know how competitive it is to play professional NBA sports in that since
75 years that's been since the 50s.
Yep, since the 50s.
Because they just celebrated their 75th anniversary a couple of years ago.
Since
2022, yeah.
Since 1946.
Yep.
There's been less than 4,500 people to ever suit up and touch the hardwood floor. That's an insane stat when you think about that.
Oh, yeah.
So that's to let you know that the worst player is better than any YMCA pickup dude any day.
And Brian Scalabrine is also an NBA champion who played in the league for 10 plus years. Let's think about that for a second. He played 11 years. He played for the Boston Celtics and was on that team until 2010. And then he played for the Chicago Bulls following last 2 seasons.
Yep. And so NBA champion. It doesn't matter that you didn't know who he was. NBA champion. All right. And will beat the average Joe on the hardwood floor.
Yep.
Now, before I get into the next topic, Messi got into a game on Friday. And did you hear about what happened?
Oh, yeah. I heard he scored. Yes.
Yep. Not only scored, but if I heard correctly, had the game-winning score. Mike Larson in the chat can prove me or tell me if I'm wrong on that. But I thought that was pretty cool because, he signed his contract, came over here. People are wanting to know that they sold a massive amount of tickets. They didn't know if he was going to get in the game or not, yet he got in. And if I heard correctly, scored the game-winning goal, which is it's almost like it's scripted, man. Don't you think? Like, I guess conspiracy people might go, that's certainly scripted, but Mike Larson fouled him.
That's the reason. That's the reason why Ted Lasso's stopped after season 3 because Lionel Messi's now picking it up for his spinoff.
But you could not have written that any better for Messi to come in, get fouled, hit the free kick, and win. Like I saw some people break down the video frame by frame of how the goalie could have done it, but moved in a way that a very amateur person would move, and I'm just like, but it's Messi.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, by the way, I am incorrect. Ahmad Rashad only played in an NBA preseason game.
Okay. All right. I'm glad that you cleared that up.
Yeah, he was 40 years old when that happened. Sorry, I didn't mean to pull anything out, but that's about the longest that we've ever talked about soccer on the show. Felt a little uncomfortable.
Hey, at the sports bar, we cover all sports. Mike Larson said,
I mean, for crying out loud, I've delved into daggone motor racing, God knows how many times. And I guess we can allow soccer to come up every once in a while.
True that. True that. I like Jeremy Daniels. Danger, circling rabbit hole. It makes me smile. It also makes me know to keep pace of the show. So Jeremy, keep doing that, man. It's making me smile over here. Let's see. Next topic. Oh, all right. Coming back to David Cunningham's comment about running backs. Dalvin Cook, who is in some legal trouble, by the way, I totally forgot about what was going on with him. Ezekiel Elliott, Saquon Barkley, a lot of running backs are saying that they should get paid. And it started, who's the Broncos running back? I mean, I can't think. Melvin Gordon. It started with him talking about how RBs are just getting mistreated contract wise when they bring team value to the position that it is that they do, and at the top level RBs are like, yo, we're not getting paid what we should get paid. Saquon Barkley has talked about it on podcasts. Dalvin Cook has, he's been quiet because of his legal stuff. But what are your thoughts about the current state of the NFL running back and how teams are valuing that position?
Running back has been the default athletic position for a lot of the teams that have been drafting, and I can say that they use it now, not in a position of dominance. The last time I really remember any of that was happening was around the mid-2000s, where the run was exclusive. Everything now has been going to the passing game because of the easing up of the rules on the quarterback as well as the receivers. It pays to be a fresh-legged young running back, because as you get older with the wear and tear on the running back position, the slower you get and the less you're going to get featured. You have to maintain your speed, and it's a lot easier to do if you are younger before you get any type of injury. Let's be quite honest here. When you look at the NFL quarterback nowadays, somebody taking Saquon Barkley number 2 overall is it's not as common as it was back in the day. In fact, it was actually seen as a bad move. Okay, Saquon Barkley right now is being pushed out by the Giants for his money, because even though he made about 30% of the offense last year, the running back valuation within the NFL has gone down dramatically. And, like Jacobs over in the Raiders, he's been very vocal about how they've been devalued, over this time. Saquon Barkley's got a little bit of a gripe. Now, I know why the Giants signed Daniel Jones before they signed Saquon, and that was because of money, if you can actually believe that, because it's going to the way that the money would be going to Saquon versus going to Daniel Jones. You'd actually have no maneuverability if you signed Saquon first. Putting him on a tag was a financial and business part. The running back position, though, has been one where every athletic person that comes out of college can be utilized, and can be utilized on the cheap. We've already seen this. The 7th rounder from Kansas City last year, Pacheco, he was drafted out of the 7th round. And this guy had more of an impact and had fresher, younger legs than the other running backs that Kansas City often had. And Pacheco was a difference maker on that team. You look at the way that the running back has been utilized. I'll even go with the Jets. The Jets have drafted 3 running backs in the lower rounds over the previous 3 drafts. And right now with Bryce Hall, he's now going to be coming back from a knee injury. But last year as a rookie, he was doing great. The year Or that they had another guy by the name of Michael Carter, and now he's completely freaking gone. You know, the way that the running back position is, the cheaper and younger that you can get, the team will try to skimp out the money for it, and that's the way that the valuation of the NFL has taken it now for these running backs. They don't put it out there because a younger option that can produce similar production, you know, similar stats out on the field might be available. And that might carries a lot of weight when it comes to salaries.
Man, I'm at odds about this because on the business side of it, like a business operations, I get what the organization's doing.
Yeah.
But as a fan and as a former running back himself, which if you go to YouTube, you might be able to find high school highlights. Your boy did his thing in the day.
Yeah.
I have a soft spot for running backs. I was a running back in high school. I love the position. To me, it's the position that Barry Sanders is my favorite running back of all time. I loved his style. But I like your bruisers. I like your Mike Allstocks, your Jim Browns, your Adrian Petersons. Like, I love all flair of running backs. But as I get older and I'm starting to kind of understand business operations a little bit more, I what the organization's doing. And when you look at the game now and even in the future, I hate to say it, I believe that you're going to see more Cordero Patterson type guys that are athletes that the only thing that they can't do well is block. But as far as accounting for the lion's share of the offense, I think you're going to find more players being able to make money like that. Be kind of like your Taysom Hills, be your Cordero Pattersons, where they can line you up in the slot, put you in the backfield in shotgun. You could even line up in I-4. Patterson lined up at I formation with the Falcons several times over the last 2 seasons and did really well as a wide receiver playing right. So I think that maybe, just maybe, there's going to be a shift over the next 10 years where Guy Barkley, who can catch, run, block, like I said, he accounted for nearly of the Giants offense. Yet, you know, he's not being paid as much as Christian McCaffrey, who's making about 16 a year. That's what Saquon's trying to get. But as he's getting older, I don't know, me as an organization, I don't know if I could pay him that much money when you can bring in fresh legs that can put up similar numbers for the team throughout the season.
And that's where it's coming from, is that these fresher legs, if you get these guys on an NFL minimum contract, you're looking at $500,000 to $650,000 salary, something like that. Versus, let's put the hard cap on what Saquon and Jacobs, as well as the other guy, and Tony Pollard, you know, all three of them didn't come to terms on a contract. They would have gotten $10.1 million to play running back, one of the most demanding positions. The average quarterback is now getting guarantees of $20 million plus per season. There are offensive linemen that are getting that annually, around over $10 million. There are defensive linemen who are getting more than that. There are secondary players that are getting played more than that. Running back, one of the focal points of the system or of the offense, is now been moved away from these Saquon Barkley types and these Ezekiel Elliott types that, you know, are the above average running back, and they only are exclusively a running back, to these younger legged, cheaper running backs that you get in the later rounds that are not only are able to run the ball, but the majority of them are catching the ball or lining up as a receiver and adding that extra versatility out on the field.
Man, hey, we got a lot of comments on this one, so I want to highlight the people that have commented as well. Jeremy Daniel said, money, 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 rabbit hole. David Cunningham said, the NFL has brought down the shelf life of running backs to 5 years tops, unless you're also a good blocker. He also said running backs have to be good catchers. Mike Larson said, too much risk and little return. on the RP position. I wouldn't say little. If that player is not playing a full season yet, it's a little return. But I'm wondering what they're averaging it out like across, because I can't think of a time where you had a more than half the star running back played all 16 or what is it 17 now regular season games,
17 regular season games, yes.
that didn't have to deal with injuries. So yeah, like I said, the business side of it, I get it, man. I do. It sucks because I'll always have a special place for the end back. But what David Cunningham said, they're looking at the Tariq Hillses, like those playmakers, those athletes, like Debo Samuel. Debo lined up a little bit of everywhere last season for the San Francisco 49ers. And I mean, and he can run, he can catch, you can put him in the backfield, you can line him at the slot, you can line him out wide, you can line him up at quarterback. Those type of athletes, I think, are going to replace the NFL running back in the future, and I hate to see it. Mike Larson asked a question, and I'm not going to Google this. Hands off. He said, "What running back played the longest?"
Well, I know the one who's got the most games. That was recent.
That the most games, is it Emmitt Smith?
No.
Oh, it's not Emmitt Smith.
No.
Okay, what running back played the longest? I'm going to say, well, I'm going to stick with Emmitt Smith. I was either going to go Emmitt Smith or I was going to go Adrian Peterson.
Well, you'd be wrong by a year.
Ooh, who is it? Frank Gore.
Bingo. Bingo.
Did you see the light bulb moment when it hit my face? Frank Gore.
Frank Gore has played, I think, I want to say Marcus Allen has also played the same amount of seasons that he has, and maybe a couple other people. But Frank Gore played 16 seasons and he 240 plus games, and he holds the record now for most games ever played by a running back in NFL history.
Yeah.
And how's this for a round number? 16,000 career yards. I will never forget that because it was exactly 16,000 career yards.
Nice. Dope.
Yeah. So he averaged 1,000 yards a season.
The only reason why that popped up in my head was I was just watching something about NFL running backs, or maybe it was a YouTube highlight, and one of the analysts talked about how Frank Gore in his prime was a beast, but yet he's not talked about. You know?
And think about this too. So that Miami teams of the early 2000s, they had Willie McGahee on that team, and then the other one who busted his knee up during the championship game against Ohio State. I can't remember the guy's name, but he went on to another great NFL career. You know who the third string running back was at that time? Frank Gore.
Huh.
Yeah, and Frank Gore was supposed to be the best out of all of them, but he got injured his freshman year. And then, Miami kind of fell off a cliff after that, and Frank Gore was there for when they kind of fell off from the highs of the national championship teams. He was there on the downswing.
Nice. There was a question. Didn't he play as well with his son? I don't know if they played together, but it would have been dope if they did. It would have absolutely.
I don't think there's been a father-son thing in the NFL. I don't think it's possible. I mean, Brady at 22 years, no.
You would, yeah,
you don't have a generational one. You would have to be you would have to be starting early, like Antonio Cromartie did, and then playing as long as Tom Brady did.
Yes,
that's about the only way.
Yeah, I think in our lifetime we'll see.
I mean, we said this thing that LeBron and Bronny are going to play together, or oppose each other. So it hasn't happened in basketball. it has happened with baseball. In fact, the father and son played together with the Griffeys.
Mhm.
I think it happened in hockey with Gordie Howe. I think one of his kids played with him or something like that, but I don't think it'll be possible in football because you definitely don't have that long of a career.
Okay.
You know,
Dave,
it's not long enough in order to do it.
yeah.
Plus, and let's think of this too. The advantage that LeBron has is that Bronny is going to declare right after his freshman year, right? You
Mhm.
have to be 3 years removed from your high school graduation class um, in order to be eligible for the NFL draft.
Ah,
So
I
you're
know. Sorry.
automatically adding another 3 years or something like that. It's not where you're going to have your kid drafted as a either as a freshman in college or as a high school senior like Ken Griffey Jr. did, and be called up and be able to play immediately. It's not like that. So
So
NFL will be a while until it'll be a long time until we ever see a father son play together or play against each other.
yeah, true that. Hey, there's a question that I want to answer but not answer. Women in Review said, for us non-cable people, how do you recommend watching football this upcoming year? Offline, I will shoot you a link that I may or may not use to help you watch football if you don't have cable.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Hey, for crying out loud, I can finally watch the Jets this season. It will actually be good. There was
Hey,
a year. There was a year. I think I went up to New Jersey. It was like the last game of the season, and there was a Pittsburgh game in which the winner of that game had some type of playoff implication or something like that. And the game went into overtime. And I swear to God, I was up in New Jersey, and they put the fucking Jet game on at 4:25 while this daggone Pittsburgh game was in like the last minutes of overtime. They actually switched it to the Jets, a team I hadn't watched all year, and I got pissed off at the cable company or CBS for doing that. All right, that's how. And if I want to watch them this season, it's a big fucking thing to me.
Mike Larson said that he Googled it. Frank Gore's kid is a sophomore, so no, it didn't happen. All right,
Ah,
for letting me know. Jamie Dean said, rabbit hole showing again. I
oh
like it.
yeah.
I like it. Absolutely. Let's get to we got two more stories here before we close out the show. Um, hey,
All the
I've
cold ones are gone for tonight.
oh man, no more cold ones. Have you watched mixed martial arts in person? Like, have you gone to an MMA event?
No, I haven't, and I don't want to.
Why is that?
It's kind of like wrestling fans, but far worse. Most of them are the ones that have stickers on the back of the car that says, "Make America Great Again."
Oh wow. All right. Well, there was a mixed martial arts fighter by the name of Daniella Hemsley who decided to slash her boobies after she won. The internet has been split on this one as far as the reaction to it, but it cost her dearly. It kind of cost her. So this is the young lady too. This is censored. This is censored. We aren't showing anything. Do not come for us over here. All right. But she won her match, and I've seen the uncensored version of this video, by the way. And she decided
Yes.
to raise up her shirt and flash, and everybody else was looking. The announcer must have been married or something because the moment she pulled up her shirt, instead of looking himself too, he walked fast away from her and looked away. And that's the part that made me laugh because you instantly saw everybody else with their camera start clicking and things like that. But it cost her dearly as she will no longer be able to she's on a temporary suspension. And some people are saying that, hey, what she did wasn't bad, while other people are like, it wasn't needed in the sports, especially when you put the conversation around lady sports and how should we get into it? How
Yeah,
the
let's get it.
how the ladies are trying to say, hey, we're just as competitive and entertaining as men's sports, but you do something like this, and this is what people this is what gets people to put your name in their mouth, is when you do something like exposing your breasts on camera instead of people celebrating the fact that you won.
Well, I'll say this, okay? We're going to delve into the dichotomy that we have about sexism and about, this way as far as men and women and equality. And yes, I am all for equality whatsoever, but I will say this. The women are a little bit unblessed because they have technically two, areas that are considered where genitalia is. And one of them being, the upper part of their body. So really, men just can't equivocate it because nobody's going to be hitting a 3-pointer or hitting a game-winning shot and then pulling down their pants and having their wang do the the squirrel on the trampoline right in front of everybody on half court. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that. Hey, look, it's a boob. Things like that. Okay, not a problem. I understand that. Look, there's a reason why you don't fight without a bra. There's a reason why you don't celebrate without a bra, too. So, as much as you want equality and things like that, I'm sorry, women. It sucks for you. You got to take the L on this one. Flashing your boobies is a sign of a sexual gratification. You're not going to see Michael Jordan, moon the entire crowd, or take his balls and try to make it look like a hamburger. Okay, you're not going to see him do that in the Chicago Stadium after he hits a game-winning shot. So a little over the top. I'm not a fan of the boob. I can't believe I just actually put that sentence together in my mouth.
Here's
I think that was the only reason why I actually went on this rant.
Yep.
Just so I can say I'm not a fan of the boob.
Not a fan of the boob. Look, I think that how this last quote is written right here is a perfect wrap up. It says, unfortunately, we now live in a world where role models or influencers are not necessarily doing the things that the older generation, which this person classed as their self, would want their kids to see or think is acceptable. You want your kids to behave in a certain way. That's not a way you'd want your kids to behave in that person's opinion. We live in a freaking mental world. Unfortunately, clout is just being chased all over the place. To each their own.
I mean, look, you got to think about it. We're now in a generation where the person who's got the most money started being famous after a sex tape came out with her and a rapper.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's be honest. And now that family's got more money than the damn Waltons who own Walmart. Okay, that's a scary thought. So,
I wonder, and this would be the last thing that I say before we change subjects. I wonder if she has an OnlyFans now, because it would seem to follow a script, right? You're this influencer type person, you do something to get views and be talked about, and then, hey, check the link in bio for my OnlyFans, and now people are going to go sign up, and she's going to become a multi-millionaire because of one viral moment. I'm not hating the game. I'm not hating the game at all. Do what you got to do to get your coins. I'm not a fan of it, but I'm not gonna hate the game either.
Yeah, I'm about $1,000 a month away from selling feet pics.
Hey man, this is a joke, not a joke. I do have an OnlyFans, but it's not what you think. It is not what you think. I may only have videos.
Is that how Michelle gives you your monthly allowance?
Yes. No, you know what? Zoom in on me for a second. This is a kingism, all right? So while people think of OnlyFans as this thing that you can go to for softcore or hardcore prawn, I'm saying prawn because of YouTube. It is not necessarily just for that. It is another media platform that you could use to engage with people that support you. So yes, I do have an OnlyFans. I don't do anything on it, but I wanted to create it so that in case OnlyFans decided to get away from that stigma and go more mainstream, let's say if all of a sudden I blow up, I can't have somebody else out there that decided to, let me get in on the actual King Smith brand before I do. So I wanted to create my OnlyFans so that nobody else could beat me to it. But yes, I do have an OnlyFans. Mike Larson said she will make more.
OnlyFans is the MySpace of the gig economy.
Ooh, hey, here's something. David Cunningham.
It'll be dead. It'll be dead soon.
Let me make sure that I say this right. Ladies, question will be why. Oh, ladies, question will be why men. Oh, ladies will say that men will have to wear shirts too. That's what I think that I'm understanding on that. Because guys for mixed martial arts don't have to wear any type of top or whatnot, but the ladies do. And hey, if we're talking about equality, do we make the ladies take their tops off or do we make the guys put tops on? Mike Larson said Smith shows his boobies on there too. Yes, I do. And feet pics. OnlyFans.com/theactualKingSmith. Go check it out.
Dear God.
All
what
right.
brings down the radio station? It's Smith's feet. It's Smith's feet pics. Why did we get a band? That's because we had an unpaid ad for Smith's OnlyFans.
Dang it. Hey, Ice, my bad, brother. My bad. Jeremy Davis said, flutter kicks in the rabbit hole. Hey, Jeremy, I got you, my man. Thank you for keeping us on point over here. Last topic for today.
I'm pretty sure that's what one spread on OnlyFans is named.
But before we get into it, if you have not done it yet, hit that like button, right? That is all that we ask. Hit the like button for us here at the Sports Bar. Coach and I come here, we like to say every Sunday. I know it might not seem like it, but we definitely do try and get on here every Sunday. The Mets actually have a run. They
do. Yes.
All
yes,
right.
But I just found it funny. I mean, I knew that I didn't even look at the game. I saw that Daniel Vogelbeck was up for the Mets, and I knew that it was going to be announced, so it's rather sad. The Mets are done. The highest payroll in MLB, and they're going to be in last place in the NL East.
Yep. Ugh.
Yeah.
How you feel about that, Coach?
Well, they're the Mets. Who gives a shit? They're the Mets.
All right. There is a YouTuber by the name of Gideon who has over 7.5 million subscribers on YouTube. That is no easy feat. Almost every video that this guy puts out on his page gets several hundreds of thousands, if not millions of views. And one that he put out 4 days ago has gone viral, in which is titled "Don't Sleep on the WNBA." Now, I'm not going to share and play the whole video. A, it's 16 minutes long, and B, I'm not trying to get YouTube stricken over here, but in this video titled "Don't Sleep on the WNBA," this dude bought tickets to one WNBA game and decided to fall asleep and say that he has sleep apnea. Now, he's a professional troller, but the way that he talks, it's hard to tell if he's serious or not. And especially for somebody like me, I don't get sarcasm. I don't understand it. So when somebody's real sarcastic, unless you laugh with it, I just believe it. But he decides to get to one WNBA game, and while he's there, he takes a shot.
Like really bad. If I
just
snore,
watch.
just like wake me up, okay? Huh?
So there's some people who know
I'm not
who
gonna
he
lie,
is.
bro. I'm just kind of tired, man. Yo, ref, is there a way we can turn up the air conditioning? I can't sleep with it this hot.
Really? You're gonna have to take that up with arena management.
But you got pool though.
I don't have that much pull. I'm sorry.
It's like freezing in here.
So the ball comes to him. Now watch what he does.
It was just a quick heat check. Just quick heat check.
All right. So here they're going to grab him by security. They're going to take him over and tell him that he can't do that. And to which he responds, hey, the ball came to me. Like, ball wasn't in play. I just shot it. So the security's talking nice to him, running a script basically, but they ended up kicking him out. As he's outside of the stadium, he buys a private jet to another WNBA game the same day and does almost the same thing. And I'm going to see if I can find it here. But he essentially buys 4 seats and falls asleep during the game. And security comes.
If you're still right here when I get back, you're leaving. Here's your warning.
The game's over.
If he lays back down, he's had his warning, he needs to leave.
My sleep apnea.
Sleep apnea is when you're snoring, so you need to get it right. You got to figure it out. We can go.
So, Coach, let me ask you, should there be anything against buying a ticket, 4 tickets, if you will, and falling asleep like this dude in the game? Do you think that they should have kicked him out and subsequently banned him from showing up? You're on mute.
Daggone it. All right. Kicking him out of the stadium for the night. Yeah, I get that. Okay. Banning him from going to a WNBA game. That's $25 saved. All right. That being said, banning him from going to the NBA games in the future. I mean, how do they really enforce that? I mean, do they really like look at the person as they're coming through the daggone turnstiles, anymore?
I don't know how it works. I do know that some stuff is indeed enforced. So I don't know if they have some type of facial recognition or something. At the end of this video, which I'm not going to play it, but he's talking to security. They're asking him for his name and his ID and stuff. And he's like, I'm not giving it to you, and the security tries to say that not only is he banned from WNBA games, but he's banned from NBA games. And they're going to make a request for him to be banned at NFL games as well. And he's like, wait, what? This isn't an NFL game. Like, why are y'all doing this? I didn't.
Why the hell is the NFL? Why the hell is the NFL coming up there? That makes no sense.
So I don't know if that's an actual thing. If security can, like, if you're deemed a nuisance at one particular event, do they just have some type of agreement that they could submit to say, hey, this person's a known pest, do not allow them into your stadium?
I mean,
and then
what are they going to do to the person who was actually filming it, who was clearly across this way? He had to buy his own tickets in order to to film that thing. Did you ban that guy who was filming it across the court? No, they didn't. Oh, what the hell?
Yep. Larson said, how much are courtside seats to WNBA games? Like $50?
I was about to say, yeah, they're passing up on 3/4 of their customer base right there. Those other tickets for the friends and family seats.
Yeah. Hey man, I'm curious how they do enforce a ban.
The other ones were giveaways on local radio shows.
Hey, I actually, should I say this? No, you know what? I am going to say it.
The other 10% were vet ticks.
I had an opportunity to go to a WNBA game courtside, and I turned it down. It was during a weekday. If it was a weekend,
I didn't want to pay the vet ticks processing fee.
But to get down there. Actually,
He didn't want to park at the MCI Center because it's freaking terrible down there.
yeah. But I had to turn it down because it was during the weekday and your boy's busy during the weekday. But yeah, I turned down courtside to a WNBA game because I wasn't interested. If they ain't dunking, why am I going?
You're the only one that would have sat there. You would have thought it was your intervention.
Yeah. But to what David Cunningham said,
Hey, look, we got a fan.
How they enforce it, because I mean, with all of the people coming in and out, do they have some type of biometric technology or facial recognition that says that this particular person is on some type of list, which also tells you too that the technology that we have, because I wouldn't doubt it that there is some type of security people that do scan this stuff while you're sitting there. You're thinking you're anonymous, you're Joe Schmo nobody, yet you have security that are monitoring not the people the game, but the people in the seats, just to check to see if you somebody that might have some type of warrant or somebody that's supposed to be banned. That's crazy when you think about it, man. We are in a surveillance state like nobody's business.
But let's be honest, they can only afford to do that for the NBA game, so he's safe to go to a WNBA game. In fact, it would be easier for him to be picked out over at a WNBA game. He's going to have to buy tickets.
Yeah. Larson said,
"What are you here for?" "I'm here for 2 tickets to the New York Liberty." "Yep, you're definitely that guy."
Larson said the vet tick's processing fee is the same as a WNBA ticket. Yo, that's wild, man.
Oh God!
All right,
we're besmirching vet ticks.
We are at our 2-hour live mark. Jeremy Daniels has said, "Follow the yellow brick. The scripting is showing rabbit hole diving." I love it. I love it. Hey, I appreciate the engagement. I appreciate everybody that has tuned in. This has been another episode of The Sports Bar here at WTF Nation Radio. I appreciate everybody that commented, hit that like button, and those that will hit the like button. Be sure to come back tomorrow. I believe Boss Man himself, Ice, is going to be running a Monday edition tomorrow. I know he's been busy. I know he's been traveling, but I think he is going to be live tomorrow. So if you are a follower of the station, be sure to come back at 8 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time Zone and check out Ice himself on the Monday night edition. Coach, close us out for tonight.
All right, and as I watch the Mets try to think that they're going to score 5 runs in the top of the 9th to tie this game up, the more I realize that us fans, there's a fine line between fan and fanatic. And if you're a WNBA fan, yes, you have to be a fanatic, okay? Because nobody's really crazy on that line. But that's the great thing about sports, is that it drives us crazy, and we still love it. So, here's to what drives us crazy every day, every week, every year, being a sports fan.
Absolutely. And we appreciate everybody that has commented. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Y'all make the show entertaining as well. So salute to y'all. Salute to Jeremy, David, Michelle, Mike Larson, Greek Pete, and everybody else that commented throughout the show. We'll be back next week, and we are out.
Peace.
Peace.